you're synonymous with the singing the national anthem, and that all began. The first time was at a WWE house show in February 2000. As I've heard, Vince McMahon loved your performance so much so that you start doing it before every single Raw, and then you're at WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many times you sang the national anthem over your years of WWE?
No, we were going to actually, by the time we thought about it, we were like, oh, we should see about putting this in the Guinness Book of World Records. Like, it's got to be the most national anthems at a public forum, right? Yeah. But unfortunately, when we did contact the Guinness Book of World Records, they said, well, we have to have it logged in every single performance that she's ever done with how many people were in attendance that night. And we have to have proof that she actually performed it. And we didn't have that. We didn't know to start recording, every single show that I had ever done, and the live event, even the live event shows that were just for the people in the arena. So I didn't get to do that, but I have no idea. Like, I have no idea.
I think you've got the record.
So many people say, like, there's no way somebody has surpassed you. Yeah, because it was almost like 15 years worth of singing the national anthem at every single event.
Yeah, and you did it often for SmackDown as well, didn't you? It wasn't just Raw, it was then SmackDown as well.
It depended. That sometimes I did it for SmackDown as well. Sometimes I then also did it for the pay-per-views right before we went on the air. And then that was the other thing, doing that 25th year anniversary countdown. I didn't realize how many times I'd actually done it on air. I didn't realize, like, all the tribute to the troops, 3 WrestleManias holding the record for that. And it wasn't even just the national anthem, but America the Beautiful, right? A mix of both. But I didn't realize how many times I had actually sang on the show, which was so special.
So can you remember who suggested you perform at WrestleMania 2000 then, and how that came about?
So I just remember that Rock was the original one that told me, hey, you're getting ready to do, because Howard Finkel always did the live events over the weekend, and I would do Monday Night Raw. And then I would do SmackDown. I'd do the backstage interviewing. So I just remembered I was filling in for Howard one weekend, and Rock told me, he's like, we always play the national anthem instrumentally before we start the show. He's like, why don't you go and find the producers and ask them if maybe you can sing it? And he goes, because you sang it, right? And I said, yeah, I sang it for my senior year, for the graduation of my senior year. So I went ahead and found the producers, and they're like, oh, well, we'd love for you to do this. So I did it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. By then, they went over to Vince McMahon on that Monday. They're like, she's incredible. Vince is like, okay, I got to see this for myself, which was San Jose, California. I did it that night. And then that's when he suggested, okay, I'm going to have you do it at every single event. And that was February of 2000. And then I think it's either my boss. I would think it's either my boss at the time was Kevin Dunn. Either it was him or Vince that told me, we'd like for you to do it at WrestleMania for 2000. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. But Ben, let me tell you something. I feel like God was preparing me for sure for when a year later I would need to perform it live for 2 days after the 9/11 attacks. The fact that I had been in front of our audience singing it that many times, and it's almost like it definitely was getting me ready, because that moment was so scary and so intense. And I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders, representing America with the most important song at the most important time after, being such a huge attack on our homeland, that I look back and I went, oh, that's why all of this was happening. Wow. It's wild.
I mean, it's a performance that still gives me goosebumps, not just yourself, but just seeing everyone on that ramp and just the emotion of everyone, and the sheer bravery of everyone, including every fan that went into
that even showed up.
Night. Yeah,
that showed up for sure.
I don't know that I would have had the guts to do it. I'm going to be honest with you. 2 days after that, it was just an incredible kind of celebration of the human spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, that you felt the energy of unity. You felt the need to heal. Yeah. And that's what I felt like I was put into that position to do. And I was so honored, very scared, but very honored.